Yeah, hey everybody, welcome to the pre-show.
Hey, welcome
Hey,
everybody.
this is where we talk about. I think Taylor's going to show up. I'm not sure if Dave's going to be here, but anyway, this is where we talk about what we're going to do on the show. Who
Well,
cares?
hopefully
We'll talk about
Taylor's
it when
doing
we do it.
better.
Yeah, hopefully everybody's better. Taylor was sick. I'm feeling a little under the weather today. I think it's just because of the rain, sort of making me,
But like
up here.
like
But
we were talking, it's been a rough week for everybody.
yes, it's been rough. I mean,
We had
I was going to talk about it during the food news, but man, and I think I talked about it Monday, but my dog had 9 puppies on Monday.
yeah.
I've been dealing, and that feels like so long ago now, But it was weirdly ironic that it was National Dog Day on Saturday.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was.
wild. But we were talking about gardening and how hard it is, and it's not really that hard. It's less like anything else. It's like reading. It's like writing. Doing art. You just have to want to do it, and then learn how to do it, and then practice. And then it gets done. Then it's pretty easy. Honestly,
Yep.
I swear I got like 50 pounds of cucumbers, and there's still cucumbers on there, dude. I got so many cucumbers this year. Tomatoes off the chain this year. Earlier, I got like broccoli. I had 6 broccoli plants that I ate off of for like weeks, and lettuce. I had lettuce out the ass. Lettuce is great because it just keeps coming back. You cut it, and then it grows more, and then you cut it, and you can have it all year. It's fantastic. But yeah, you should definitely, if you guys eat vegetables or something,
Yeah.
I only plant when I'm going to eat.
Like I said, I don't know what we're gonna do with it right now, but
Yeah,
just
and it's
there.
way early. It's way early in your
Yeah, we still got
adventure.
until the 28th of September to figure it out. So
Nice. And you say that, oh man, I may have to go. There's a cat in here.
Well, then, if
But
you
say that, but I mean, it could still take, I mean, it goes by so fast. Hold on,
Yeah,
let me
it
get
goes
this
by so
cat. Or this being interrupted.
Okay, so since Gomer's away, I will talk about it then. We had the passing of the original voice of Harley Quinn. We had the passing of Bob Barker. We had the passing of Bray Wyatt, and we had
Andy
the passing
held
of
down
Terry
the fort. Oh, we lost all of our viewers. No, we're going. I mean, this motherfucker really gonna go fetch his cat on the air. We only came to see the cat. That's the only reason we showed up. But yeah, I got 11 dogs.
I don't draw any viewers, Gomer. You know that. You watch my show.
Right.
You watch my 2 shows. I get 0 viewers.
I do watch your. Are you doing the wrestling show?
I will be doing that. Not yet.
That's happening though. Because holy shit, today would have been a day to do it with that pay-per-view. I usually don't get to watch them because they're on late on Sunday. I'm doing this, while the pay-per-view's on.
It's over. So
yeah. I mean, I don't even watch it. I don't even. My kid was like, "Man, they should do all the pay-per-views in England because then they're over by 3:00 and I could take a nap."
They started at noon today, and
it was noon today.
4:00.
I think it was still 7 in London though. Which
so
that was cool, man. I like Soraya getting her shit, man. I've always been a fan of her. She got that movie,
Yeah,
and for her to do, that was a fun
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, fighting with my family.
Yeah, fighting with my family. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was really fun, dude. I can't believe we're talking wrestling.
Yeah, it was a tough week for wrestling.
But yeah, you should do that wrestling thing, dude, where you lay out.
It's coming up. It's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
I didn't want to do it on a week where it's just like all of a sudden you had Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt.
Oh, dude, yeah, that would have been a terrible.
It would have been a terrible week to do because it's like I've just been talking about them for a straight hour.
Right.
Hardcore legend and one of the most creative modern minds in wrestling history, passing away. One at 70 and one at 30, one at 70 plus, who's retired so many times it's not even funny.
Yeah.
And the other one who's only 36 and died of a heart attack. So that's not a good time to start a show.
Yeah.
We're talking what did I walk into? Well,
wrestling. Okay. Talking about wrestling.
Gotcha.
But we're doing it. We're doing a show now. Taylor's here. We can start. We were just waiting on the wizard.
Time to start the show.
Mm-hmm. Jeff here. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that in segment 1 for sure, man. Ahsoka. Yeah, us too, buddy.
Whoa, I'm feeling a little bit of hostility there with that one.
Man, I did look at that. I mean, that's sort of a preview for tomorrow night when we talk about there are some books. They're all episode of This Geek and Comics Outright Geekery's Comic Book Shit Talk Show.
Shit Talk Show.
Taylor, Andy, Gomer, kicking it with you.
Hey. I do feel a little attacked with that opening segment there.
Right.
Yeah, Gomer hates these guys.
So yeah, right. Segment 1. Anybody Blue Beetle? Anyone?
I didn't go see Blue Beetle.
Awesome.
Nope, did not see it.
It was pretty good. I heard it was good.
It was pretty solid. It wasn't like a masterpiece or anything, but it was like it had a fun tone. It really had a good family dynamic, which I feel like was the main thing they were prioritizing here. Like his family isn't just like inspiring him from his backstory. You know, a lot of them form an active part of this movie. There's a lot of good chemistry, a lot of good moments with each of them. And he's got a cool power set. It's a lot of fun. They're like hanging out in like not Miami the whole time, but
right. Some DC made up Central City. Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've heard if you've seen every other superhero movie ever, you've seen this. It's just sort of borrows from all of those, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know, if it worked. Yeah,
it's one of those where like this isn't giving you something you've never seen before, but it's a simple meal well made. The execution is
That's the perfect way of doing it. Perfect way. It's Ratatouille. The Flash. I did see The Flash. It's finally on HBO. You know me. I don't go to theaters. I don't talk about movies that I
still haven't seen this. So what do you think?
It is fun as hell, dude. I mean, if you ignore all the other baggage that comes along with this, the rest of the DCU not being anything anymore, you know, the Snyderverse or whatever, the absurdity of their lead and all the trouble he's gotten into, you know, the horrible special effects. There are places where these special effects are just dog shit bad. I mean, it's like they realize that, oh shit, we need to save some money on this and just threw the penny bank and that's it at it, not the actual bank. But if you can get over all of that, dude, it is a really cool sort of coming of age story, which Barry Allen is perfect for. You know, they've done it over and over and over again with different versions of the Flash too.
Well, I mean, this iteration of Barry Allen, maybe. Barry Allen was very much not the kid growing up alongside superheroes in the comics. That's more Wally West. But
exactly. But yeah,
they borrowed a lot from Wally.
They are borrowing from Wally here, dude. They really
Wally's a better character than Barry.
He is. Yeah. He is. But I mean, Keaton is dope in it. The Supergirl, man, whatever. It's a fun angle there. Zod showing up again was just awesome. That over-the-top action. Yeah, dude, I had a really fun time with this, and I wasn't expecting to. Maybe that's part of it. You know, maybe that's why
Then it was low expectations.
Yes, it was very low expectations.
Yeah, I didn't expect from this film, but it's okay. It's decent. It's passable.
Yeah, I had a fun time with it. Do we want to do Ahsoka in segment 1? Does it need its own thing?
Are we doing its own thing, or
we can do its own thing if you want?
I have no idea. It's whatever.
All right, let's just do it now.
Are we going to talk about this on a weekly basis?
I mean, we can. I mean, it just depends, because for me, it's just
you're the one doing the packages.
You're right. I am the one doing it.
You're in charge.
It's Rebels next season. Only it's live action. I mean,
yeah, and I guess that is something. Okay, so I've never seen Rebels, and I've never really watched a lot of Clone Wars either. So I do feel. So my perspective is somebody who's coming into this just because it's a new Star Wars show.
Right.
I don't have a lot of the background on any of these characters. I know Ahsoka, and I recognize a few of the other names, but from that perspective, I enjoyed it, but I definitely feel like I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I was up to speed on these characters.
I agree 100%. Yes, because I am up to speed on all that shit.
I'm not familiar with Rebels, and I've not watched a single episode of Ahsoka yet. So
yeah, you should. It's any visit to the Star Wars universe is good.
Well, yeah, I can tell you as somebody who's not like plugged into Rebels, I still enjoyed it. I'm so glad I watched it.
Yeah.
Although I will say I do not like Sabine Wren.
You just don't care for her.
She is an annoying character archetype where she's all like, "Screw you! I play by my own rules," and then immediately fucks everything up.
Yeah, she's very angsty, unwizened, you know. But I mean, Rebels kind of leans into that too.
I get that. Okay, so maybe I would feel different if I was coming in from Rebels or whatever. But I don't like stupid kid characters who are just doing everything out of spite and angst, and that's what she feels like to me.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. But I mean, Rebels is a cartoon, so the expectations there again are a little lower. You know,
that's
for
fair.
Character archetypes.
It was a show for kids, as far as I
exactly.
can tell.
Jeff, a little bit of a
That's a spoiler, Jeff. You're spoiling.
You're jumping the gun, Jeff. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about Immortal Thor later. Don't you worry.
We'll definitely talk about that. And yes, Rebels is fantastic, dude. Rebels is great Star Wars. Everyone should watch it, especially now that Ahsoka's on. It feels kind of like it's a commercial, for that whole animated series. So maybe we'll move it to a regular segment next week because Dave is a huge Rebels fan from my understanding. So anybody else do anything this week worth mentioning? It sounds like you had a boring week. I can just tell by the tone.
I mean, I went to go see Blue Beetle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we already talked. I played a bunch
of D&D, so I didn't have much time to do much else.
Nice. Andy, anything?
It was kind of a boring week over here. Had the inspector over the house because people are gonna buy it, and then found out everything wrong with the house.
Oh, so you're doing adult shit, yeah.
I'm doing adult stuff.
How about there's a house he's getting with a garden, and his wife's just like, "You can fix that, can't you? Like, destroy the garden." I gotta talk to her.
So
I'm gonna have to send her some links to some gardening tips.
There's no way Andy could be as bad at it as you are, though.
I know. Exactly, dude. I had like 50 pounds of cucumbers this year already.
I can be bad. I can be really bad. But we did sign on another house right now. Nice. We have an inspection on Thursday next week, and this week was just kind of more of like, trying to keep up with all my stuff that I do over on the group page. You probably should go over to the group page, by the way.
Yes, go over to outrightgeekery.com. Check out the
shameless plug.
It's awesome.
Oh, I am so shameless with my plugs. You don't have no idea.
You're killing it over there. All right, let's do news, y'all.
You already displayed that, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. Man, I'm so sorry. We are starting on a pretty sad note. Arlene Sorkin has passed away. If you don't know who that is, shame on you. She was on Days of Our Lives, of course, and that's really important to her whole career path that we give a shit about. But she originated DC's Harley Quinn. She's has passed away at the age of 67. This is the voice I hear when I read Harley Quinn. Okay,
it's absolutely.
Not anybody else.
It's hard, even.
I mean, across the board, the voice acting on Batman the Animated Series was iconic.
Exactly.
That's the voice for Joker. That's the voice for Batman. That is the voice for Harley Quinn and Two-Face, Penguin. Go down the list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very true.
All right, now here's a little extra onto this. All right, she was not only the voice actor for Harley Quinn, she was the basis for the character.
Which I did not know about that.
Yes. Yeah. Paul Dini, who worked on the original or the animated series for Batman, saw her playing a jester on Days of Our Lives. And this is even more just freaking amazing. Her appearance was meant to be a one-time thing for a single episode of Batman. But the rest, we all know, is just
the rest they say is history,
dude. I mean, she made this character her own and put such a spin on it, and it was kind of like lightning in a bottle because the original series or the animated series, was such a hit that this character eventually becomes a villain in more animated shit, and then makes her way to the comics, and now
she has become definitely one of the most famous Batman characters in general. Like, she's up there with, like, Batman, Joker, Robin, and the rest,
Yeah, dude, she really is. I'd say top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were to ask a random person, name 5 Batman characters,
she'd be in the top 5.
Yeah, a huge chunk of them would say Harley Quinn somewhere in that 5,
Yeah, she's just become so popular in culture, dude. It's such an amazing... I mean, I was reading on this earlier today, and I was like, wow. All these little trivial bits of information about it. And just that iconic voice, and oh man, I was really saddened when I heard this shit, man.
Yeah, and she's like Harley Quinn is the very first character to ever be on a television show to ever transfer over to the comic books. Which
is that right?
Yes, first.
For all the other comic book characters who are now coming from television and movies now.
Yeah,
so this is the blueprint. This is the beginning of all of that.
It really is, dude.
Yeah. So this is a milestone character.
Yeah. No, for sure. Just so popular, man. I hated hearing that. 67, is kind of young, but
yeah, it is young, yeah.
Yeah, she lived a good life though. She was married to the dude who co-created Modern Family and a bunch of other shit.
Yeah,
and that dude.
So Christopher Lloyd, not
that one, the other one. Christopher Lloyd, not this one. Marty.
So
The other one. I
Christopher
wish
Lloyd
Dave
is.
was here.
Was that your Doc Brown impression?
I don't
Jeez.
do it well. Dave though.
You guys keep
me
telling me things that I can see, very evidently for myself here today.
So the guy, the other Christopher Lloyd, not the actor,
Yeah.
the other
So,
Christopher Lloyd
yeah.
is known for doing Frasier, which is now going to get a reboot, and
Yeah.
a lot of other things. So he's known.
Yeah.
He's a very good executive producer, writer, and he's well
All
known
that
for that stuff.
Hollywood
So yeah,
shit.
she's married. She was married to him. So
Yeah. Oh, Andrew checking in. Hey, Andrew, thank you.
hey,
wanted to
everybody's
Hey,
say
other
favorite
Andy.
Andy.
Really
Yeah.
appreciate it. All right, moving on to Valiant. Okay, the drama over at Valiant continues. As we all know, they stopped publishing during the pandemic. When they came back, they started publishing regular, and then they moved to just one comic book a month. They were only releasing one book a month. That's not even a comic book publisher. I could do one book a month. Me and Andy could scrape together enough time to do one book a month. It would look like shit.
Yeah, it would look like garbage.
But we could do it. Just me and him. So I don't know what the hell is going on over there.
Depends on how much you like horror mysteries.
Yeah, right. So they've canceled now Ninjak and Exo Man of War. So everything was solicited. Issue 4, 5, and 6 were delayed of the Exo Man of War book, right? And they haven't come out. So Ninjak Super Killers it's been around for, I would say, almost a year, if not more. Jeff Parker, Mike Norton are supposed to be on that book. It was going to be, again, one issue a month after the Exo War book finished. But now Diamond has canceled all the listings for Exo and Ninjak. And there's no Valiant listing at all for the month of November. Okay. So if you also remember, which we did cover on this show, we had the news that it's so weird, dude. DMG, who is actually the parent company of Valiant Comics, was bringing all of their publishing, or actually giving it, to a company called Fair Square Comics, Alien Books. And they do some okay stuff. They did a book with Howard Chaykin recently. But anyway, there's no sign of any of these books in Fair Square's November 23 solicits and solicitations either. So what the hell is going on with the Valiant universe, dude?
Well,
this seems like such a travesty to me.
This is a shame, but it's also a logical conclusion to them putting out one book a month. That is simply not enough for them to keep the lights on. I guess they were trying to tread water while they were looking for some sort of solution, and I'm sorry to say, but it looks like they didn't find it.
It really is a shame. All right, Bloodshot, the movie with Vin Diesel. It's not great, but it's not complete dog shit.
It got the worst possible timing. That was coming out in theaters when the shutdown was happening. It was like the month of.
I think it would have done just as good as Blue Beetle. 25 million outside the pandemic.
It definitely would have done better. I mean, it absolutely would have done better than it did, but it had the worst possible timing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there is still fruit on the vine for the Valiant universe.
Yeah.
These are some very compelling characters in the Valiant universe, and I'm surprised that
agreed.
I'm actually not sure what happened to that Bloodshot movie. Is it on one of the streaming platforms now?
Hold on, let me see.
I'm sure it's available somewhere, but yeah, you're right.
So Bloodshot the movie. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Dave's not here.
But Andy's right that we don't have a research guy. What the hell?
Yeah, we don't have a research guy. Y'all are just left in the dark. Sorry, fans.
But no, Andy's right that there are a lot of usable properties here to be sure. I mean, you can make a movie about Ninjak and it would be at least as good as that shitty Snake Eyes movies that came out.
Oh my goodness, yeah, dude. At least.
So I quickly pulled it up here. So if you got a subscription to Starz, it's on YouTube Premium, it's on Hulu Premium, Sling Premium, Amazon Premium.
Okay, so it's just kind of
it's on Starz.
Kind of a free agent player, it sounds like.
It's kind of everywhere, but you have to have the subscriptions to it. So I just quickly pulled it up. But Vin Diesel's all over the cover of that.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, sure, the movies definitely have legs, but in order to have that sort of synergy, you have to have comics coming out,
Yeah.
And without those, I don't think. I mean, I would love an Evar Time Walker fucking TV show, dude. I think that would be the shit. I think that would be like, and again, all of Valiant stuff is basically like a ripoff of of something else. Okay, Exo Man of War is basically.
You're saying the quiet part out loud, but yeah, I mean, but they did their own kind of like interesting twist on it. Like, you can definitely see where like Ninjak is just, I mean, a million ninja characters that you could name.
Yeah,
you know, Bloodshot was basically Wolverine.
Bloodshot is basically Wolverine meets Nuke. You know, from Marvel Comics. Exo Man of War is basically Space Iron Man. You know.
Yep.
And they have a lot of characters like that, dude. Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. You know, they have a couple of characters who are like.
Hell, I mean, Exo looks like a fusion dance between Booster Gold and Blue Beetle.
Yeah, exactly.
His character is just so so messed up.
So I think there's a lot of fruit on the vine yet for Valiant. They need to get their heads out of their ass and figure that shit out, man.
But I'm worried that it's too late. I'm worried that this is the news that they do not have time to get their head out of their ass anymore.
It sounds like it's probably going to be selling their licenses.
They're probably going to have to do that now.
Yeah, at least that, or just sell the whole thing. Sell Valiant to somebody.
Sell Valiant, yeah. I mean, you could make it.
Send it back to Dinesh, who was in charge before.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a Valiant corner of like Image or something like that. You know,
Bob Kirkman might be quick to pick up on that shit, man. You know, he's still friends with everybody who created all that shit back in the day.
Maybe, maybe that's where it happens here. But
yeah.
Putting out one comic a month, that did set a limited amount of time for you to figure something out, and it sounds like they didn't.
Dude, how about the Massiverse put out like 3 books last week?
Yeah, that is so weird to me.
That
still,
is so weird, dude. It's so weird.
How many massive books can we put out in a week? Let's put out all of them.
Man, we are asking all the questions we need Dave for, you know?
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's put out
all right, a couple quick hits, and then we'll move on to food news. The Deviant has been announced. James Tynion IV, arguably the best writer in comics because he's won so many Eisner Awards. And Joshua Hickson are doing holiday horror.
Yeah, looking forward to this.
In November.
Well, I think there's definitely a market for that, you know? I mean,
I think so too. Yeah.
There's you can tell we're getting to the point now where like people are less afraid to tell like whatever kind of Christmas story you want to. It's not a great parallel,
really
but like,
hot, dude.
Yeah, like last year they put out the Christmas action movie, you know, with Violent Night.
Yeah, Violent Night.
Yeah. Christmas can be all the movies.
Absolutely. I mean, we have had Christmas horror before. Like, they made that Krampus movie a few years ago.
Yep.
There's more than a few horror movies that are set during Christmas.
There's one called Jack Frost, which no one should watch. It's
terrible.
Never, ever watch Jack Frost.
I guess I should say that I've never seen a good horror movie set around Christmas, but they do make them. There's an audience
Black
for it.
Christmas is okay.
Black Christmas, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I like Christmas.
If you're going to argue that, if you can make the argument that Gremlins is a Christmas horror movie, that was solid.
It is.
Yes, Gremlins is a Christmas horror film, but it's more of a comedy. So.
Oh, that's true.
It's barely horror, but I still think you could call it horror.
It's horror adjacent.
Yeah. It's like kid friendly horror.
Yes,
kid friendly horror. Yeah.
So it's a 9-issue miniseries set to launch in November. As snow falls over Milwaukee in 1972, a blood-stained Santa Claus commits unimaginable atrocities against young men. 50 years later, now, a troubled young writer interviews this so-called deviant killer who still maintains his innocence from behind bars. And as Christmas approaches once again, the past returns, wielding a sharpened axe. That's November 15th. Shit ton of variant covers. Here's just an example of the art, which is pretty good.
Yeah, the art looks kind of good.
Yeah. So then finally,
it's got my attention.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not my attention. It's Image. It's James Tynion. I mean, I'm sure we might talk about Christopher Chaos later, but he has nothing to even do with that. It was just his idea. But I did catch up on that book, Andy, and it's fucking weird. Finally, in news. Animal Pound. Tom King and Peter Gross are doing a book called Animal Pound. It's a reimagining of Orwell's iconic book. It's actually
okay.
This is going to be here.
Well, that's a popular thing to be doing right now with Animal Castle coming up.
Yeah, Animal Castle is more of like a sequel, I think.
Yeah, sort of.
Animal Farm, but in this, it's a modern-day retelling. When animals grow tired of being caged, killed, and sold off, it's only a matter of time before they've had enough, and there's an uprising and it puts the animals in control of a pound, of a shelter, a dog shelter, an animal shelter. So they quickly find themselves as comrades united against everything that walks on two legs. But with this newfound power comes a sudden challenge: how best to lay the groundwork for this new democracy. I mean, we know the dude's been around for a while. This is Tom King. It's only his second creator-owned book. Second.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, the first one is that Love Everlasting, which started as a Substack. That's over at Image. Everything else has been DC and the Vision at Marvel. I don't think he has anything else at Marvel but the Vision.
I can't think of anything else off my
Yeah,
head.
it's wonderful. Yeah. That's all he needs.
Yeah.
But dude,
okay, so yeah, at its
right
heart, the original Animal Farm was a book about, it was a critique of a system. In that case, it was a critique of the system of communism. And it sounds like this is also going to be maybe a critique of the prison industrial complex. Hard to say.
I'm hoping that he leans all in on economic political systems, just like Orwell did in the original, but with a newfound, look at our modern system. I don't even want to say the words because Taylor knows that I get really triggered by those sorts of things. But does this not sound, if it is that, Taylor, like right up my alley, man?
I think you'd enjoy this book. Yes,
I think so too. So that's why I added it, as a final.
Book to read when it comes out. So
yeah, man, I am stoked. And Tom King been kind of weird for me. He did Penguin this week. I didn't care for it, man. We might talk about it later, but
it's not even on my list.
Oh, is it? Is it on your list?
No, it's not on any of them.
Okay,
missed the mark.
Let's do food.
Yummy.
I don't know why I laugh at that every damn time. All right, number one in food, Burger King is inviting fans to vote. All right, get the Burger King app, the Burger King whatever.
The correct answer is the chicken fries.
I have to.
What is the other one? It's just like a burger with black sesame seeds.
The theme here is ghost peppers. You can either get a ghost pepper Whopper or the new ghost pepper chicken fries. Get the BK app. You can vote. They didn't say when voting is going to be done, but presumably before Halloween, because ghost pepper.
I guess.
I don't know.
But, yeah, go get the app. Go and vote. Again, I'm all chicken fries. Andy is vote chicken fries.
I would vote for chicken fries too. I think
it's unanimous. It is unanimous.
I think that like pepper works better on like fried food.
Oh, agreed. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a fan of the Whopper.
What would even be the ghost pepper? Would it just be the sauce, or?
I think they actually like infuse it into the breading.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not seen anything about this ghost pepper Whopper, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
The ghost pepper.
Regardless, yeah, I'd vote for the chicken fries.
Yeah, the ghost pepper chicken fries are obviously going to be the ghost peppers in the breading of the chicken fries. So it's
awesome.
It's obviously the chicken fries is the answer.
Yeah, it is. And even though I am a cat person, to celebrate National Dog Day, that was yesterday, and my week, Monday, my dog Dorothy had 9 freaking puppies. Krispy Kreme is launching the first ever pumpkin spice doggy donut collection. Yes, you're a fat piece of crap. Now your dog can be a fat piece of crap with you. Yeah, right, Jeff. You get the ghost pepper shit.
I mean, regardless of which one you pick, you are going to pay a price at some point.
Pay a price. Yeah, there's going to be some wincing. Anyway, yeah, these are out again August 26th. For that they're due or they're out through August 31st. It's basically just donuts that your dog can eat. It doesn't have shit in it that's going to screw them up.
So
my dog just eats regular donuts.
Yeah.
She's a fat ass, but
there's a bunch of pet friendly cookbooks out there, and when we had a dog, we made a bunch of pet friendly treats that also humans can eat too. So, I mean,
that sounds disgusting.
They're not bad, actually. They're not bad.
Humans can eat any dog treats. Technically,
but how many would they want to eat?
I know. Technically, you can eat any mushroom once. All mushrooms are edible once.
Until you eat the last one.
You damn well know what he means.
No, I do, and I'm all for that. My dogs just eat what I'm eating. Maybe I'm a bad dog owner.
Sounds like it, yeah.
I mean, I do feed them regular dog food and regular dog treats.
I mean, I generally just assume that you are not a great example at anything you set out to do. Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Gomer raising the bar for pet owners.
Lowering the bar for everyone else to feel better. It's like the reverse Jerry Springer.
Hey, at least I'm better than Gomer. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my god! And this dude doing a show, hosting a fucking comic book show. Nobody watches it.
Everybody who's watching is like, hey, everybody who watches is like, hey, at least I'm better than these three assholes.
Yeah, right. All right, it's comic time. What a week. Yeah, there was no moment. Man, I don't even know what I'm gonna pick here. I was so torn this week. Anything in my honorable mentions could have been my number 3 pick this week. But Strange New Worlds number 1. It's called the Scorpius Run. Mike Johnson, Ryan Parrott, Angel Hernandez. Solid installment of the TV series. Basically, you're just watching the episode. Because for comic readers, the show don't stop. Buffy, Doctor Who. It's always on.
Buffy's been going on for like 20 years now.
Yeah, it's always on. It
never ends.
Yeah. So that was solid. Tenement number 3. We might talk about this later. Just beautiful art from Sorrentino on this.
God, that was such a beautiful issue this time
it was
around.
so gorgeous, so scary. The air. Captain America finale was good. I'm positive we're going to talk about that later, but let's just get this one out of the way. Immortal Thor number 1. Al Ewing, Martin Coccolo. I wouldn't doubt if this is Taylor's number 1 book.
It's my number 1.
It was solid. It did a lot of resetting back to the traditional status quos that we're used to with Thor. It took Loki out of the position of being, the ruler of Jotunheim, whatever.
Well,
it rebuilt the Rainbow Bridge. It reintroduced a bunch of characters who had been missing from the last Thor run.
Yeah, it's no coincidence that Thor's back in his old costume. And they also have him talking in more like fantasy speak, more so than he has been in recent.
Speak. I want to call it Simonson speak.
You can call it Simonson speak. That's a good comparison to make. Yeah. But yeah, this is setting up like the narration and like the dialogue and everything, and even like the actions themselves are all like have like a mythic like flavoring to it. Like this guy isn't just like this fucking cross-science shows up, makes his boast, and like there's a battle of boasting going on between them and all that. But
I love this when he's calling out the storm, not even worried about the bad guys, just saying, "Storm, go away."
Yeah,
just so well done.
This definitely
I got so much art from this because it was Coccolo murdered it on this shit, man.
Yeah, and Al Ewing did write a Loki run back. Or actually, that was Kieran Gillen, but Al Ewing, he enjoyed writing Loki in the Defenders and things like that, and you can tell he's a pet character. He brought him back in that form. He has reset him to the way that he wrote him before, or them before. I guess we should make a point of saying.
Yeah, but which the book also does too.
Yes, that's why
I loved, dude.
Yes, that's why I'm specifically saying they, because the book does. Yeah, we also get to see Thor like getting out here and awesome. he's plugged into the Marvel universe more so than it feels like he has been, because he's out here dealing with Orcus,
Yeah. Al's really the writer Al Ewing is really bringing in corners of the Marvel universe to establish the book in the Marvel universe. He did the same thing with his Ultimate Hulk run, but then he quickly moved away from that and just did his own thing. And oh my God, look at this. Destroying the Statue of Liberty. The art here, Coccolo. Oh my goodness, just destroyed it. It was so good. And then we got a new bad, the Utgard Thor, kind of like, I guess, Mirror Universe Thor.
Sort of. Okay, so if you know anything about Norse mythology, there is like there's a surprisingly little amount of Norse mythology that's like official material. There's like 2 books.
Yeah.
Yep. One of the surviving stories about Thor, and there's very few, is this one. It's the one about him going to face off with Utgard Loki. No relation to our current Loki, I guess. Oh, but now there is, because of the way Al Ewing is writing this.
Right.
Like, these are apparently like the gods to the gods. We don't really know what the hell that means yet, but it's an interesting setup. We got Thor. Yes. We got a huge fucking threat for him to come and deal with here.
Yeah. 100%. This was beautifully written, wonderfully drawn. Maybe flip those, but still, it was fantastic. But again, it had some first issue syndrome. It was kind of a boilerplate first issue of a new run for an old character where they're resetting traditional, ideas of the character back to whatever the previous writer Okay, and that's no offense to Al Ewing. Donnie Cates never had an opportunity to put the toys back in the box. You know what I mean? He didn't have that opportunity, and I'm sure he did.
There was
but he got
also
into
just
a
generally
horrendous accident.
There's this huge hiatus that we went through, where like other people had to come in and like basically take their best guess at how the story was supposed to end, and
yeah, exactly. Dude was in a coma,
So,
So I'm not taking anything away from any of the creators here, but again, it's a fact. Ewing had to put the toys back in the box, reset a few things, and I mean, there were a lot of other comic books. There were way more than 3, that I read this week. So it wasn't just this is an add-on. No, this was fucking wonderfully done. But I'm not going to take away from that little small sort of shit. In my opinion, Al Ewing could have ignored all that shit and just put it right. You know what I mean? He could have ignored continuity altogether and just here's Thor, here's what he's doing, and we would have been at issue 2 or maybe 3 by now. But still, yeah, wonderful issue, dude. I loved it. All right, that takes us to Taylor.
All right. Honorable mention for Jean Grey, #1. It's basically just like her dying dream, about like where did I go wrong, and we're having like a little what if she had zigged instead of zagged at various points in her life. I thought it was an interesting little take. Like, what if she did decide, no, let's keep the memories from the future, and then like she becomes like the thought police for like the whole X-Men. Fucking world. Yeah,
from the all new X-Men.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because that was more recent than the other things that they're going to get into, at least with next issue. But for their continuity, it was the farthest back because like
exactly
they made that decision right after the team was formed or whatever.
Yeah, I was okay with this.
I always thought Bendis's thing with like the past X-Men showing at the present was stupid. I never liked that idea.
Yeah, but it worked, in practice, though, it worked, and I had a good time with it. But you're right; it's still a stupid idea. It's still dumb as hell.
But I thought that this issue was like a good way to do like a little Elseworld story, which it appears as though that's what this is going to be. Mm-hmm. Which I do appreciate. They're not just immediately reneging on Jean dying like they did with Iceman. They immediately backtracked Iceman dying.
I have reread that Iceman issue recently, and I'm okay with his boyfriend keeping him alive.
It was fine. Yeah. It was
because I think there's still an opportunity for him.
Yeah. I mean, they set a consequence. There's like a limiter. He can only like go out and be in a physical form for so long.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If they had also said like, oh, by the way, Jean's alive too, it would have taken a lot of the teeth out of that issue of Hellfire Gala.
Oh, for sure. Which in X-Force, I had to like relive it all again in X-Force. I was like, what the hell? Damn it. It hurts even more now. But yeah, good call out.
But my number 3 this week is Dark Knights of Steel, number 12.
Oh my goodness.
Good book this week.
What, Andy?
That's a good book this week.
Oh man, what a send-off for this shit.
Yeah, this is a really cool way to wrap up the series. We have our tragedy. We have Amanda Waller being such a fucking pice of shit, but like such an impressive.
I'm reading your mind on.
She's
an
impressive piece of shit.
So
God
well
damn,
done.
She goes full total piece of shit in this book.
Tom Taylor nails it, dude.
But yeah, and then we also get oh fuck, that was awesome moments. Like Harley's idea for them to just set themselves on fire and just go beat up the Martians while they're on fire.
Yeah, because they're all.
It's not gonna hurt them. They're fine. Yeah.
They're all. Yeah. They're all Kryptonians,
But I also like Wonder Woman being a real boss, where it's like, tell me your name, and then he's like tries to fight back, and she just like bitch slaps him down. Tell me your fucking name,
Yeah, I like that too. She's like, no, you're gonna be in a story. We're gonna honor the queen, And
you get to be a cautionary tale, and then she turns to the leader, and it's like
exactly. That's what I was
you get nothing.
You get shit.
We are erasing you from history. It's like you never existed.
I love that, dude. Tom Taylor has created, just like Injustice, basically, a whole thing that he can. I mean, he did with the zombie shit too.
Yeah. This is something where they could. This is a fine ending. It's a fine way to end the story, but they also left it open where they could do more. So, I would definitely like to see more. It looks
Bruce
pretty cool.
going to create his own Gotham. Didn't they show him like leaving and be like, "Nah, there's more for me somewhere
Well,
else."
he's going off to like travel the world or whatever. He didn't
He's gonna
explicitly say
create
he's
his
making
own
Gotham.
Gotham, dude.
Maybe he
I
will.
am
Hard to say.
so stoked to see what time they have to announce this. New York Comic Con. There needs to be an announcement for a sequel to this because it was fantastic. It took fucking forever for it to come out.
Oh yeah, this was like
But
stretch. It was a 12-issue miniseries, and I feel like it started like 2.5 years ago.
yeah. But yeah,
yeah.
very, very well done. I was very excited to
Worth the
for it
wait.
to
Yeah.
wrap. So yeah, worth the wait, and it wrapped really big, really, really well. What did I put in my notes? That it was a bunch of flair. No, it's not in my notes. Andy, honorable mentions number 3.
My honorable mention is going to be the Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Very well done.
Number 1 of the Scorpion run. That was pretty good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, dude, I hear their voices, their cadence, and yeah, great dialogue, really fun action, dude.
Yeah, it was a really great book, and not really less for honorable mentions because it was a very like kind of like trying to balance everything out week. So
nice.
My number 3 is Realm of X number 1.
This was not bad. It wasn't what I expected, and I think that brought it down a few for me. But yes.
Well, I enjoyed this. This is kind of more of like what happened after the Hellfire Gala. It had all the other characters from that that they didn't really talk about. What happened to them. They had Marrow and Dusk and Typhoid Mary and
Magic. Yeah, Magic.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
Ileana,
Magic.
yeah.
Thank you. I forgot about Magic. Thank you. All the other characters, like what happened to them afterwards, and it's kind of an interesting, like, what happened to them. They're stuck doing things. So it's kind of interesting little tie-in story.
Yeah.
For the fall
and
of
they
X
go
right now.
to like Vanaheim somehow. I don't even think they really explain how they all were teleported to Vanaheim.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Who's that magic woman from the other universe? Come on, she was in a book. She was in
Saturnine.
Is it Saturnine? She was in
the one who's like the head of the Ten of Swords, like the head of like Otherworld and the Ten of Swords book.
Yes, she ended up showing up in
Saturnine.
this. Yeah, she ends up showing up in this. So it feels kind of like they're pulling that in to Vanaheim, and I think that kind of meshes well. This magical sort of fantasy world, and Vanaheim, which is like a literal fantasy world. So yeah, it works. Danny Moonstone was a fucking boss in this shit. I loved that part. But yeah, good book, dude. Good call.
Yeah, it was
good call out.
It was fantasy week for me this week. So
yeah, nice. All right, easy number 2 pick for me. Star Trek number 11. The Hive Mind.
Number 2 also.
Oh, nice. I think Colin Kelly and Jackson Lanzig maybe mentioned again before the end of this show. But the Hive Mind, Angel Unzueta, trying to keep up with the art here. Solid as usual. This would have been my number 1 if something would have fucking happened. All right, it's a big slow burn. The magic in this is the dialogue between these fan favorite characters. Like here's Ro, like in just one panel, using the Kobayashi Maru to call out how propagandized Starfleet is. How it sort of brainwashes them. In a get gold stars on the death simulator. Just really powerful dialogue. But then this Lily character, who's new, a new character just in this book, tells Ro, no, it's not a death simulator. It's showing, like, what are you going to do if you are in that no-win scenario? Are you going to blink? Or are you going to rise up and meet that situation? And it was just so fucking well done, dude.
That's the point of the Kobayashi
That is the point of Kobayashi Maru.
Exactly. Ro didn't get it. Like, Ro never understood the Kobayashi Maru. Now, with that said, Ro Lauren appears in other shit after the time that this comic is set in. And it works so well with her.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert for Picard, but yeah, she was up there.
I mean, that's the hive mind of Kelly and Lanzig, who are not only playing off the character's past, but also playing off her future, knowing that the reader knows both her past and her future. Yep. And it just, it works so well. And then we get
literally the best part about that book.
Oh yeah, I thought so too, man. But there was a lot of good parts. Crusher smacking Sayla around for not understanding who Tasha Yar was, because Tasha Yar, Sayla didn't really know the Tasha Yar who served. She knew the Tasha Yar who was trying to protect herself and her child, you know. And Sayla herself was a victim of propaganda, which is a ongoing theme throughout this entire event, you know, with Kalis doing his thing. But she slaps the shit out of Sayla, and then Sayla just goes on this crazy mission to help out the other team, you know, and they're meeting up. It's got B'Elanna and Tom. It's got Data and Lore. It's got finally, Cisco and Worf, you know, showing up to do their thing, you know, to fight Kalis. But it also has Shax, you know, helping out B'Elanna and Tom on the Defiant. It's got Spock taking the fucking captain's chair on the Theseus. I mean, dude, this is the Star Trek fans' Star Trek comic, and this will never be retired.
And honestly, sitting around and talking is a big part of Star Trek.
It is. You're so right. It is. And I mean, yeah, the Hive Mind, Lansing, and Kelly are just nailing it. And let's mention them again. Go ahead. I'm sure I can.
Well, yeah. By process of elimination, my number 2, you were right, is let's see, Captain America finale. Number 1.
Sons of Liberty, the finale.
Yeah. Carmen Carnero on the art here, and oh my god, holy look!
Yeah, we got a lot of great, like, big splash montage pages here. We get a lot of really cool dialogue. We get a lot of big, like, fuck yeah moments, like, that they've been building up to for their whole run here.
Yeah, and that's my take on this.
And we even got, like, out of nowhere, I was not expecting a kick-ass Doctor Doom moment.
Dude, leave it to Kelly and Lansing. What's worse than death? We'll give him the Doctor Doom. I mean, that's perfect, dude. That is perfect. That's like if me and Taylor were sitting around, damn, what are we going to do with this bad guy? Let's give him the Doctor Doom.
Yeah, it was an interesting way to resolve this, because, like, they intentionally mirrored the moment earlier where, like, Bucky decided to shoot the Revolution, and here he was, like, he could kill the Power here, but at first you think, like, no, Steve broke through. He decided to show mercy. Not really. This is way worse than shooting him. Yes.
Yeah, that's worse. He gonna kill him slow. That's like giving him to. That's like the end of the Italian Job, man. We're like, no, we're not gonna kill you.
Oh yeah, they turned him over to the Ukrainian mob. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I love that movie. But yeah.
Yeah, dude, me too. Dude, this issue perfectly captured, like, the entire series, and that included an event that was done by somebody else. That was done by another team.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just, I don't know how they did it. I have no idea how they did it, but
they nailed it. And honestly, even the, like, goodbye page, the little essay they wrote at the end, that even got me choking up a little bit.
Yeah, dude. They give a fuck. I'm sorry. Right now, we're really close to the last quarter of the year. It's going to take some writer to really do some magic.
Yeah.
For them not to be the best writing team. I mean, writer. I mean, they're the Hive Mind. That's what they've always done, is work together.
I mean, they're effectively a single writer, and they fucking knock it out of the park.
Best writers of the year, dude.
But yeah, I mean, I think that essay in particular, like, really drove home why I loved their Captain America run so much here. I feel like they understand the best They understand the best parts of the character.
Yes.
They understand why this character is important to so many people. You know.
Yeah. Give those motherfuckers an event. Give them a big
I'd read the hell out of
event. Give them everybody. Give them the damn shit. Give them the shit. What are we up to? Number 2?
Andy's number 2, but he already said it.
Yeah, my number 2 was Star Trek. My number 2 was Star Trek number 11, Damn Blood.
Oh my god, so good. Such a great book.
It was really good.
All right. Yeah. I'm sorry to disappoint. I can't help it. I had so much fun. Mark Millar, Pepe Larraz, the big game number 2, man. I mean, this shit, I did not realize I was such a big Mark Millar fan, but Prodigy, who's from a book, like, his name is Edison Crane. He's a huge billionaire. He was in a book called Prodigy. He hires the Chrononauts, which is from another Mark Millar book, which I fucking loved. It was so good, to investigate the claims that this superhero has, that the world is secretly being run by the fraternity, who is the group from the Wanted comic. It was also written by Mark Millar. So they travel back in time to the 1980s, and they see that there were superheroes running around. I'm not even sure who this is. Is he from Jupiter's Legacy? Is he from?
He might be, or he might just be like quintessential Superman type, you know?
Yeah, I think he's the Jupiter Legacy guy.
Yeah.
Just very I don't think it quite matches Jupiter Legacy, at least not based off of the colors we can kind of make it. I don't know. But the point is, he's like a quintessential superhero of some sort. Yeah.
Yes, he's Superman. He's Superman. So they get back. They're like, okay, yes, awesome. Here, Jeff. Hell yeah, I was hoping the big game was going to get mentioned. Yes, it's so great, dude. I didn't realize I was such a big Mark Millar fan, but I am. But anyway, the fraternity way too smart for him. They get back from time traveling, and the fraternity's there and just blows them out of the water, just destroys them, murders all 4 of them. Which I was like, jaw drop. You know what the hell? But then Hit Girl next. You can't really see the girl because of the logo, but Hit Girl is next. So they go to the comic book shop because they know she's in the Lansing, Michigan area. They know she's going to go get comics. Comics come out on a Wednesday. So the fraternity just scopes out all 4 comic shops in that area all day Wednesday. Okay? But then, and dude, it just keeps getting nuts. Somebody's there in her back seat to save her. It's fucking Eggsy from Kingsman. I didn't even remember that I read Kingsman. I guess maybe the movie. I'm a fan of him, but it's like everybody should know these characters. It's so crazy how much Mark Millar has like injected himself into popular culture, but everybody knows who these characters are. You know who Hit Girl is. You know who Eggsy is from Kingsman. You know who the Wanted motherfuckers are.
This book really makes you appreciate how he has low-key pumped out so much material over the years, you know?
Yes. So then it jumps to the ambassadors who literally get moshed. That's the ambassadors from another book. Nemesis takes all their powers, okay, through the help of the fraternity and just, destroys them. And then he finishes, we're going after the vampire kids and that big dopey idiot from the Midwest next. They're talking about 2 other books from Mark Millar. Nightclub, which is about a group of teenage vampires who just start doing heroic shit, and a book called Huck, which is about a developmentally disabled superhero. Basically, it's a developmentally disabled Superman. He's like autistic. It is so well done, man. I love that book so fucking much. Very excited to see Huck show up in this. The Magic Order is still yet to come. Jesus. This book is great. I didn't realize I was such a big... This is Mark Millar proving to the world, you are a Mark Millar fan. You just don't know it yet, right?
You didn't realize you were a fan of mine until right now.
Until right now. And I was like, holy shit, I love this guy. He might be the best comic book writer fucking ever. What the hell happened? Yeah, Jeff, it's awesome how Mark Millar snuck this in under the radar all summer. And then, yeah, dude, it really did. He just kept telling people, y'all gonna love this. Y'all gonna love this. And yes, I
the ultimate wait for it.
I adore it. It's so damn good. So, all right, that leads us back to Taylor. I believe he already mentioned that his number 1 was.
He already mentioned it was Immortal Thor number 1.
Immortal Thor number 1. Just a fantastic book. Can't wait to see more from this. I hope it goes 50 issues. Didn't Immortal Hulk go like 50 issues?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to see.
I think it ended at 50, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So that leads us to. I don't even know what this could be. Andy.
Well, my number 1 is a little different because I didn't have a chance to read it much this week. So my number 1 is Click Click Boom number 3.
Oh man, I totally skipped this week. Man.
I just love the characters in this book. It's just I'm retiring this from my top 3 right now because I did not get a chance to read The Utterly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos right now. It's literally sitting right in front of me. I was going to read that before.
Fantastic, dude.
It's sitting right in front of me right now.
That book is wildly weird, dude.
And I have not read it yet, so that might have been my number 1. But I read Click Click Boom like right before this show started.
So this is about like a mute assassin who only communicates through Polaroid pictures, automatic pictures. Who's like on a mission, like she wants revenge. She's on a revenge mission.
Yep.
But she's also saving people along the way.
Yeah, her dad died, and she's trying to figure out how her dad died, and she's from this like apocalyptic cult from outside the United States, Africa, somewhere in Africa. They don't really. There's just a use Africa as like a spoiler play type thing.
But
she goes
definitely
to,
off the grid. Definitely off the grid.
Yeah, off the grid, and then she goes to New York, and thus this insanity happens, and she meets Angela, or
I think it's
remember.
Angela. I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's the
Angela.
other girl she's
Yeah,
helping out.
Angela, the other girl. She saves Angela's life, and they become the greatest couple in comic books history. I don't care. Move over, Peter and Mary Jane. Move over, whatever relationships you think are great. I don't care. This is the best relationship in comic books right now between them two, because it's like when they met, it was so great, and now their characters are just bouncing off. It's the perfect odd couple, because it's like she's loud and brash, and she can only talk through Polaroids. Like, how are they ever going to coexist? But they do, and it makes a great story.
Yeah,
and I hope this gets picked.
The writing sort of reflects that, it does play off them, and most of the communication we're getting about, or the information we're getting about our lead, is coming from her sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really, man, I can't believe I skipped number 3. I'm gonna have to read it after the show.
I hope it gets picked up for more issues. I hope it gets put. This has got to get something after.
Yeah, I think it would make a great like Netflix sort of movie, or even like a little series, man. Yeah, it was really well
like
done.
I said earlier this week, if it wasn't for World Tree, this is by far the greatest book I have read this whole entire year.
Nice.
By far. Nice. It is just so perfect.
I'm cooling on World Tree a little bit. It's cool, but I'm cooling a little bit.
Yeah,
but I need to read Click Click.
Yeah, Click Click Boom. Now I'm not gonna ever. This will just be honorable mentions from now on for me. So
nice.
I just had to say this one, because this one is definitely ramps up all this whole entire like, okay, who killed my dad? And it's like we have to go here, do this, and it's like it's getting more in depth of the story. And they had this like nice little flashback in there where it's just like, it's a little bit more of Scout's origin stories, and just kind of figuring her out, because it's like, because we're seeing it through Angela's point of view, where it's like she's trying to figure out Scout, and Scout's trying to tell her. Yeah, so are we, and we're figuring it out from her. So it's like this back and forth, and it's just so great.
Nice.
And now I need to go read
Click Boom, number 3, man.
I need to go read.
I can't believe I skipped that shit.
I need to go read Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos.
It's fantastic. It is. I caught up on it. It's so fucking weird. It's like Frankenstein, werewolves, vampires. I was not expecting that.
It's basically what happens when the smartest man in the room tries to make the world better, and the world just goes, "Nah, we're okay."
And it's almost like Van Helsing. It's got Van Helsing vibes to me, man. I don't know. It's a wild, weird freaking book. But
yeah,
awesome. That's it. That's a wrap on us, y'all. We appreciate you hanging out. If you like what we're doing, check out what the Bullies are doing. Leroy and Eli, they do a show tonight. It'll be available on most of these channels that you're watching right now. But if you want all the links to everything they've got going, go to outrightgeeker.com. It's also got all of the links to everything that we've got going. All the socials, all the videos, all the audios, merch, tips. You can give us Patreon tips, whatever. It's also got the group. Go to Facebook, search Outright Geekery, go to the group, hang out with Andy. He's over there just killing it all the time. But yeah, definitely check that out. If you are so inclined, come back tomorrow this same time, and we're going to do the preview show. We're going to talk about all of the new comics coming out this week. It's a middle-of-the-road week. There are some very high-profile books coming out, though, which we are definitely going to want to talk about. But again, yeah, thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We really appreciate it. But most of all, thanks to these guys for hanging out with this guy.
No problem.
And Jeff saying thank you. Man, thanks, Jeff.
Good night, Jeff.
Man, that's awesome. We're going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.